it's Regina Huber from Transform Your Performance. So often we hear that leaders need to be empathetic, but being empathetic doesn't make you a good leader or a good person. In fact, you could be very empathetic and a psychopath. Surprised? Well, let's look at the definition of empathy. According to Psychology Today, empathy is the ability to recognize, understand, and share the thoughts and feelings of another person, animal or fictional character. So as I said earlier, having empathy doesn't automatically make you a better leader or person. It's just an ability. And the reason I chose the example of the psychopath was that literally earlier today I'd written the outline for this video and I didn't get to record it right away because there was a lot of noise outside my window. But tonight I was listening to a lady who works with child trafficking victims, and I heard her say that she was surprised that people didn't make a difference between empathy and compassion. I know there are no coincidences, there's only divine timing, so I felt compelled to include this example of the psychopath and to record this video right away. So let me dive right into the difference between empathy and compassion. Yes, sure, we need empathy to put ourselves in other people's shoes and understand them better, understand where they're coming from, and empathy certainly helps us build relationships, collaborate, etc. But as the definition says, it's simply the ability to. And that's why empathy can also be used to the detriment of others. It can be abused to manipulate others. Yes, it's not automatically related to good action, to positive action. Yeah, and so how can it be used to manipulate others? Well, if you can easily sense what others feel, it also becomes easier to trick them because you can look right through them, right? So you can more easily lead them on a certain path based on their feelings, based on their concerns, their fears. Yeah, whether it's in sales or in politics or in a romantic relationship, or as I said earlier, even as a psychopath, which I hope you are not. So when you're highly empathetic and your intentions are not pure, you could easily truncate the other person's power. You could use your empathy to be invasive. And I'm assuming that's not what you want, right? So I know people who have high empathy in terms of sensing other people's fears, but they don't have an ounce of compassion. And I'm sure you do as well. So in my opinion, what we want is compassionate leaders, compassionate friends, compassionate co-workers, partners, business partners. On the flip side, highly empathetic people, or empaths as we call them sometimes, also often suffer from their high level of empathy, because when they don't learn to transform their empathy into compassion, they take on other people's suffering. They don't only suffer when a reason to suffer shows up in their lives. They also suffer for example, for the homeless person they see on the sidewalk, for a sick family member, a friend that's going through a tough situation, or people they see suffering on TV. They take on other people's pains, and that can become extremely stressful. It can be very debilitating and depressing even, and it can almost feel like a curse, like you're living everybody else's lives at the same time, and it can affect your health and well-being, unless you learn to transform your empathy into compassion. How do I know? Well, I am an empath, and I used to suffer tremendously with the homeless, until I told myself that this doesn't really help anybody, and understood that each person is responsible for their own life path and experience. I'm not responsible for other people's lives. I can offer help for sure, but suffering with them is not helping them or me. So the bottom line is I had to learn to transform my empathy into compassion. And that was a huge process for me, and it was necessary to be able to become a coach and to be able to coach my clients effectively. Just imagine I'd suffer through each client session and through all of their situations. I'd be completely stressed out all the time. And the truth is, I wouldn't be able to support them properly. So for my part, I want to cultivate compassion. And I want to use my empathy to cultivate compassion. I hope you found these thoughts around empathy and compassion helpful. I would love to hear yours. Feel free to comment and remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons. See you soon.